Hello there, here we are in the beautiful region of Puglia. We are right in front of Ostuni. Just behind me you can see the front of the historical centre of Ostuni, and I'll show you better with the drone. But today we're here to show you an old olive mill which is placed directly on the front of Ostuni, and we are talking about 500 square metres of property above, with around 270 square metres of frantoio, which is the olive mill. But without further ado, let's start to go inside so I can kind of show you better what it is we're talking about here. So you can see on the right hand side, that actually goes straight down to the frantoio part of the property, whilst again above were the various rooms where they would work almonds, fruit tree, produce, and obviously the olive oil as well. So this was really a working property and would have had quite a few people working in this. That's why it's 500 square meters. But what I'll do is I'll put the plans up because there's a lot of property to show you. So, and just to show you behind, there is this outside room here as well, which you can see at one point was an outside kitchen. So they're probably using this after they had done the working of the supplies in the main frantoio. They would have moved on to this section here, and you can see obviously through the years there have been a few modifications here. This is an extremely old property that we're looking at here, and again it's not even possible for me to give you exact dates of when this was built. But let's start moving inside, because as I say, there is a lot of property to see here, and hopefully you can see enough, because it is quite dark down here. Obviously it's not currently got any electricity, but hopefully you're seeing just how large this room is. You've got a little fireplace in the corner there. So, I mean, this is really a project to take on, and I think someone's going to take this on and make something really special and unique of it, just given its position. And again, I'll show you on the drone video just how amazingly placed this is, because on the front hand side you've got literally views of the sea, and on the back side you've got views of Ostuni. So even the roof is a really good space with obviously stunning views. But look how big this place is. This place is huge, and it's got lots of these little rooms either side. Again, it's quite dark in here, so I will be showing you the plans to kind of give you an idea of just how many rooms there are. And you can see if you move into here, there is a small room here on this side here, and again these would have been the small workstations for each person who was working the produce. Here they've actually boarded up the wall. Obviously through the years they would have wanted to close that, so that was closed later on, but would definitely, I'm all for opening things up rather than closing things. Moving back on ourselves, coming back through the main hallway. Again, you've got little rooms kind of branching off from this, and again I'll put up the plan to kind of give you a better idea. So I'll show you the main sections, because there is really so much to this property, and obviously a lot of it's also quite dark. So coming through here, you can see immediately we've got a couple of rooms on the side here, little kitchen area here, as well as another room down through here that kind of is the main room coming in from the centre. As we entered the gate, you can kind of see this goes back onto the front yard area. But you've got little nooks and crannies all over the place here, and it's I'm so curious as to see how this was actually used in the past. You can see here we've got barrel vaulted ceilings. Coming back through here, again, the kitchen on the left-hand side, but then we come up a few steps and we've got another little in-between level here with, again, little rooms either side, followed by a larger room here. And you can see, even here, I'm so curious to find out, what these rooms were used for, because it's got such a strange layout. But I think that really does add to the charm of the property. Now, one of the things I really want to show you, because arguably the most important thing about this property is its position, is how it's located. So I want to show you, this comes up to the roof and we can see just how beautiful the views are from up here, and obviously where we're located exactly. That is Ostuni here. We are literally on the front line of Ostuni on the hillside, so it's kind of just at the bottom of the hill, but at the same time you can see just how much of a beautiful sea view there is, stretching all the way down around. You can see all the way to Torrecanne and Monopoli from up here. So absolutely stunning views here and so much space. Up here you can actually get a better idea of just how big this property is. Again, I said 500 square meters of property upstairs, but a further 270 downstairs in the actual frantoio itself. And the frantoio, if you're curious to know what it looks like, obviously I'm going to show it in a minute, but it's very much like a cave, and it's got that cave vibe, so very special. Here the roof actually continues on the other side as well, so you can see there's more roof over here, and this is literally the front of the house here. So you can see this is the front of the property. I say house, but obviously the property. And again, look how large it is. That is how big of a property it is. And obviously there needs to be some sort of a rearrangement of the insides depending on what one would like to do. I've heard a few ideas going around. So a client was potentially interested in doing a gallery down here. I know a lot of people could be interested in doing like a health center where you have a spa. I think it kind of would really work for that kind of vibe. So I've yet to show you the stable part, which is on the right hand side and would have been where the animals were. So you can see, I'm not saying necessarily horses because I believe it's too small for horses, but potentially smaller animals, because you can see there are a few of the basins that they would have been eating out of. So again, you've got a really small room here. You can see corridor with small rooms either side. Again, we're looking into the history of this because I would really like to find out exactly, what was going on in here, because I'm so curious to find more details about it. Here we've got a larger room. Those are the basins where I think potentially that's why there could have been animals in this room here. But through the grill, you can actually see those sea views carried through onto the ground floor. So potentially opening this up, you could have those types of views. So that room kind of continues. You've got little rooms that are very dark at the moment, so can't really see them. And then all the way down, you've kind of got this another room which kind of connects up to the one we've already seen. So there's a little arch and it comes all the way down. So, I mean, it's absolutely beautiful if you ask me. Look at the barrel vaulted ceiling in this corridor, and just look how tall the ceilings are as well, right? I mean, it's it doesn't feel cramped in any way, and obviously tons of potential to do various projects here. So coming round, one thing I do want to point out, there's quite a bit of the original stone here as well. And this property hasn't really been touched. Little garden area here that's just been cleaned up. But one of the main attractions of the property here is going to be the olive mill, which is the frantoio in Italian. And you can see here as we go down, just being careful because it is quite steep. You come down into this huge room. We're talking about 270 square meters of room here, and it feels like you've gone back in time and you've discovered a cave underground. It is absolutely beautiful. I love to think of what could be of this type of a room, and again, I think a spa potentially could make a lot of sense. But look at the tall ceilings in here. We do have parts of it is type of barrels vaulted ceiling, and then the rest of it is actually the rock and the stone just underneath the front of Ostuni. So absolutely spectacular property here. I will be doing the drone video, which is basically showing you exactly where it is in comparison to Ostuni itself. Obviously, lots of potential, but if you have any questions about this property or any of the others, please don't hesitate to get in touch. Thank you very much for watching.